9.
Wow. Well, just first off, I'm humbled, I'm grateful, I'm honored to be able to coach this group of young ladies. Good Lord's blessed me with some great kids, and a team that, as you saw today, that will absolutely play their guts out when challenged, and knowing that that's what it's going to take. I mean, I think everybody was talking about how efficient their offense has been all year, and that has been. I mean, they're really, really good offensively. They got playmakers. They got kids that can make plays when offense breaks down. But I thought our press was number one thing. I thought it was really critical. Even if we didn't get a turnover, we really made them work hard to get it in. Then when they got it in, then they had to try to figure out how to run some offense. I thought we had them really pushed out on the floor quite well. And, other than the offensive rebounding piece that bothered us in the first half, they had 11 total. What did they have, 8 at half?
Yes.
So we cut that back to 3 in the second half. That was a big issue for us, especially with Agnes Imanopu. She was really big on the glass the first half. But, I thought first half we got some great looks offensively. I mean, I thought we had some great looks. I thought you couldn't make a shot. And then that third quarter, you'll have to correct me, I think they tied it at 29 or 30, and then we went on a 13-3 run. We executed some good stuff, got some great looks, and as I told Book, I thought that's toughness. She had started off a little slow. I think the first half, get my wet book out here, she was 2 for 8 at half, but then she finishes 6 for 9. And so that's toughness. Sometimes when the ball ain't going in, you can go one of two ways. And again, for her, that's why she's as special as she is because she can kind of put it to the side. Plus, I'm telling her put it to the side in timeouts and telling her, hey, let's get the next one. So, and her teammates were. I thought their teammates were really good in the huddle with her. And but I thought, again, the press. Kyla Oldacre down here is denying their 5-player in the press, really making it hard. Rori's always going to make it hard on somebody. And I thought she did an amazing job on Van Lith. Just defended her exceptionally well, got her in the press, made her work for everything. And so, I think it's just a combination of a lot of things that had to happen for us to have a chance to win. And this group did it. I mean, they played their hearts out, y'all. I think everybody in here would agree to that. They were tough. They made plays. And when we had to have some good offense, they came up with it. So, again, I thought we missed shots in the first half that were good looks. You just got to make shots sometimes. But the defense never wavered. It was never, ever a problem. To hold them to 47 points is ain't nobody standing out there in a 2-3 zone playing and hope you miss defense. And this group was just really, really phenomenal and really special, and I'm really proud of them.
Okay, we'll begin to our far right. Questions for players first.
Wesley Branch, USA Today Network. For Rori and for Shay, you guys drew a lot of the defensive assignment tonight on Haley Van Lith. What was kind of the strategy you guys talked over with Coach going into tonight's matchup, and what allowed you guys to have success guarding her?
I would say, team defense always is the number one thing. Trying to limit her touches as much, and she's a 3-level scorer and a great basketball player, and she played really well for them. But yeah, just kind of stand in front. I think with a good basketball player and ball handler like she is, like me personally, I can't gamble on dribbles and hezzies. I have to just stay disciplined, stay in front. Cut her off and stuff like that, and just get her to let go of the ball because a lot of their offense runs through her, and she makes great plays. So just kind of getting the ball out of her hands definitely is one of the keys.
Yeah. I think to add on to that, when me and Rori got into some switches, I think we did a really good job of switching out hard, and like she said, just trying to get the ball out of her hands. She's super talented guard, and just being really consistent and just, yeah, like she said, like not biting on her things. She's just really talented. But I think we pressured her a lot, made other people maybe try to run the offense a little bit, which was one of our goals for sure.
Okay, we'll go to the right aisle.
For Kyla, Kirk Bowles from the Houston Chronicle. Could you describe your coast-to-coast play and the impact that it had? And I thought I saw you smile once on the court. Was that an accident?
Slip up.
Quite a slip up. In the moment, I mean, it was just an intense moment for me, and my team came and just surrounded me, and a lot of positive energy, so I had to smile, I had to break a smile. But honestly, Coach gets on us fives a lot, pretty much everyone but the fives the most to deny it, since our guards always work so hard to deny the ball, and I saw it as an opportunity and just went on with it, got the ball, and just made sure I didn't blow the layup, and I'll make my free throw.
Front left.
Anna Ambrose with the Daily Texan. Rori, as time was winding down, you had your hands on your knees and your head down. What was going through your mind?
Yeah, I don't really like crying for real, but when I think about obviously like this team going through what it goes through with the adversity we've gone with as far as injuries or just anything, I was just kind of being selfish and thinking about what I've been through as a player, and to come back from my ACL injury in 10 months, and obviously it's physical and mental. It's all mental too, and so just to see us get to the Final Four after recovering and coming back from my ACL injury in 10 months, I just thought it was an amazing thing, and I was just really proud of myself in that moment, so yeah. And of course I was proud of my teammates and whatnot, but I just had a little moment for myself, like just to, I'm just so grateful. Like I was so excited to play today. I didn't get this opportunity last year to play too many games with my amazing teammates, but I was just very excited and very grateful.
Front left aisle.
Cedric Golden, Austin American-Statesman. Madison, I know so much is asked of you and Rori as the leaders on this team. Is this possible is this win possible without what Kyla did and the little plays that Jacques made, offensive rebounds, steals, those little plays that might not show up in the box score?
I just think all season they made big plays like throughout the game, and I mean I'm not surprised. I expect that from them. Kyla definitely just like dominated the paint. Jock, I think a great rebounder for us. Just kind of like them, more like garbage buckets, but also she's a baller. She's a hooper. I tell Jock all the time she's a hooper, and just when Jock's and her patient through the offense, I think she's a great basketball player, and she will be. Once she started like settling down, but I expect these things, and I expect all my teammates kind of step up. I think the thing is like kind of like throughout this tournament, everybody stepped up. I mean, it's been from everybody, but it's been like this like throughout the season, throughout conference. I mean, we have just different people step up, and it's just me and Rori, like we're just being leaders. Like we're just we're just talking. We're kind of trying to like set like an example for the team. But I mean, I expect it. I mean, it's been like this all season, so why not keep doing it?
To the right.
Thomas Ashworth with AL.com. Rori, when you look back on this team in the future, just what intangibles do you think led this team to this point, and what will you remember about this team specifically, as opposed to others you've been a part of?
Yeah, I'll remember just the passion that and how bad we just really want it. Coach showed us a picture of his team when is it?
I know the team.
Mississippi State.
Yeah, there was all 5 of their players on the court, and they were hugging each other on the side, and he said basically when it gets tough, y'all are gonna say you're not gonna let it happen basically. And I think just to see that in everyone's eyes, you can see the locked in and how focused everyone was during this whole game. And of course we're not gonna be perfect, but for us to be able to capitalize and not make the same ones, the same ones that really would hurt us, I think that just speaks a lot of stuff about our team. And I think you'll just remember that we're always gonna play hard. No matter the circumstance, make a mistake playing hard, do this playing hard. I just want everyone to understand, this is what Texas is about, and it's not going to change.
Yeah.
Far left.
Madison, in October, we were asking you all what the team goals were for the season. You said the first goal was to get over the Elite Eight hump. I'm kind of wondering, how does it feel to accomplish that, and what's next for this team?
I mean, I was trying to tell somebody it means a lot to us, but I think it means a lot more to Coach Schaefer. I mean, if y'all just had a camera just kind of following him around, you know, like a day in life of Vic Schaefer, I just think that you'll be at the gym all day. You'll be in his office watching film with him all day. And just the dedication that this coach has and just like the want he wants for us, you know, to be a great basketball player, especially a great team, like, I think he deserves it. Like, he puts in the work. I mean, and he's not playing a minute right now. We are. And I just think, you know, for us to kind of come out today especially and play this great, like, TCU team, great offense, and just play defense. I mean, like, that's the, like, name of the game for him is defense. Defense wins games. And just to be focused, like, locked in, like, the first 5 minutes, I just think that means a lot to him. And I'm happy, you know, to be part of that and to help him, you know, get to the Final Four. I watched him do Mississippi State, and I'm happy to, you know, be a part of it, Texas now. But, no, it means a lot to us. I think, you know, when I also think about the summer workouts, the conditioning, like, it's paying off, you know. I was just thinking about that in the locker room, like, dang, I really been on this team all the time. We've been through everything, conditioning, tired, on the ground, locker room, gassed out. But, no, I mean, these are the moments that, you know, you work for and you dream for, and it's fun, but, you know, sometimes you look back like, dang, we've been through a lot. But just also just for this man, Vic Schaefer right here, I'm happy to do it for him.
Back left.
Parker May with Stanford University. For Shay, you've been a part of this program for 5 years, all 5 years with Coach Schaefer. What does it mean for you to finally get to the Final Four as your role has continued to increase?
Yeah, I mean, it means everything to me. I know it means everything to every single one of us. Being able to be here for 5 years, I've gotten to see, like, Rori's whole career. I've gotten to see Coach Schaefer's whole career at Texas. I'm just so blessed and so grateful for the experience. You know, we've made it. This is my 4th time in the Elite Eight, which is, like, I mean, that's a blessing in itself. But to be able to go to the Final Four with Coach Schaefer my last year, like, it's so special. This is something I'll remember forever, tell your kids about. Like, it's one of those moments, and I'm just so blessed, honestly.
Far right.
Ben Pickman with The Athletic over here. 2 for Rori. One is just what was it like having Vic still give you directions and pointers as you climbed up the ladder about where to cut the net down and how to do that? And 2, just now that you have advanced to the Final Four, how do you reflect on some of the Elite Eight losses that you've been through and that you guys have been through in this moment? Yeah,
to answer your first question, you know, he's always going to be looking after us for sure in every situation, even climbing up a ladder. So, which is actually kind of dangerous, but he was going to be right there just in case. So I appreciate him for all of that, but that kind of just shows you what type of person he is. Not what type of coach, but what type of person he is. And but as far as your second question, can you ask it again so I can gather my thoughts?
Sure. I mean, you were talking about kind of your journey and all that you went through in the last 10 months, but over your career here, you know, coming up short in the Elite Eight that you guys have, just how do you kind of put those losses in perspective in this moment?
Yeah.
You only come up short once.
Yeah. You know, we always kind of complain about it internally within our team, how, like, we're tired of, you know, not getting past that Elite Eight game. But when you think about it, that's a really tough game to get across. And so we shouldn't be too hard on ourselves, but obviously we have a standard here, and our standard is what we're doing right now. And, I mean, we're here for a reason. That's what I say. We're here for a reason. We worked hard for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And we put our faith into that. So.
Our final question in the room to the left.
Yeah, Mike Vopel, ESPN.com. Rori, if my math is right, I think you were 2 months old the last time Texas made a Final Four in 2003. I know you guys all see Coach Conrad around, and you have been, you know, reminded about Texas's history. But now that you are going back. You've got Texas back in the Final Four. What does that mean to you and your teammates from a Texas, you know, tradition and history standpoint?
Yeah, Coach Jody, she is the standard. Like, her being around us, I get the vibe. She has that aura to her. And so, I mean, she laid the foundation for us. And, yeah, I guess when you look back and see how long it has taken, and to see that we've been to all the tournaments while Coach Schaefer's been here. The Elite Eights, won a SEC championship, a Big 12 championship. There's a lot of things that are changing around here. And I think, obviously, like I said, we're just laying more of that foundation and increasing our standard every day. So, yeah.
We're going to go to Zoom and take a question from Corey. Okay, we're going to go back to Zoom and take a question from Chip. Chip?
Yeah.
Okay, ladies, thank you. You're
set.
dismissed.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
That was a good one. Oh, my legs.
Okay, we'll start right here on the left aisle.
Hey, Coach, Doug Farmer, DAP. Congrats on making the Final Four. I have
Thanks,
two
Doug.
for you. The first one is, I think you're the fifth coach to lead two different teams to the Final Four in the history of the game. What does that mean to you? Is Gary Blair, one of your mentors, is one of them? And the other one is, I know you've had plenty of time to think about it, but does it help you playing at South Carolina in the next round with a less day to prepare for them, and you obviously know them pretty well?
Yeah, Doug, I'm just honored, man, to be here. I'm so honored and so humbled. I'm so grateful. You know, God's blessed me with a 40-year career coaching this great game, coaching these kids. I mean, they're amazing. And it's hard. I've said this a bunch. Winning's hard, man. People think it's easy till it ain't. And it's just, I thank the good Lord every day that he kind of showed me this path in my life and my career. I mean, there's difficult days, and, you have challenges with kids, but they're kids. I say it all the time, we're in the kid business. And, but I'm really humbled and honored that he picked this path for me, and that hopefully I've been able to instill some work ethic and some, what commitment and loyalty is into some young people, that they can pass it on. Because as you know, it's becoming more fleeting in life. The standard has changed so much in our society, it seems like, and yet I haven't. Because I haven't, it's hard, I can tell you. It's just, Rori's parents, incredible, so supportive. Shay's, so supportive. Madison, Kyla. Like, I have some unbelievable parents that are just incredibly supportive. And I've been fortunate with that really in my whole career. Like, Tara McCowan's mom, Tracy, was just off the chart. So just really been blessed, It's, I look back and see the things that I've been able to see, experience, like today. I mean, I knew this team was good enough. I've been trying to tell them for 5 months they're good enough. And to see it come to fruition for them, it's what it's all about for me. To see the joy on their face. Did you see how hard, like, those kids played today? Like, Rori Harmon was, Van Lith, I promise you, you ask her what gum she's chewing, she'll be able to tell you. And, but that's what it takes. And to be able to impart that on kids and then get them to go do it, it's really, really gratifying and very rewarding. As for your second question, I mean, obviously, I think in 17 we had played them 3 times also before we played them in the Final Four. I think that was our 4th time when we played them in the national championship game. So, we've obviously have, we've had some experience with them. We played really well at our place. We had a bad quarter in the SEC tournament. They really came out and put it on us the first half at their place. So we have tons of experiences to draw from and learn from. But again, we've got to learn and we've got to be different. And, that's the thing about their team, Dawn's teams, is that, you're going to get the same from them that you try to impart on others too. They're going to be tough, they're going to be aggressive, they're going to be physical. And if you don't bring an edge with you to that fight, you ain't going to be much fun. And so I think that's what our kids have come to know and learn. I've known it for a long time. I've had to, I've got several experiences with them. So, but for a day, I'm going to let these kids enjoy this. Tomorrow, we'll have a plan. And there's no question in my mind, these kids will embrace the opportunity.
Front left.
Cedric Golden, Austin American-Statesman. Vic, a couple of days ago, you were talking about how important a point guard is, and that you can't win without a point guard. So to watch Rori put Hailey Van Lith in a straitjacket for 37 minutes, how gratifying was that for you as a defensive coach? And also, what were your conversations like at the half when they closed with that 7-0 run? You couldn't wait to get off that bench and get to that locker room.
Yeah. Well, first of all, a year ago today, you wrote in the paper that we would have enough to get to the Final Four. So I'm not sure what your foresight is or who you're in contact with, but great job. That was a great article. They handed that to me as I was walking in. So I don't remember writing. You did. Jeremy's got it. He handed it to me as I was walking in. He goes, Cedric wrote this article a year ago today that said Texas has enough to get to the 25 Final Four. So as far as Rori goes, yeah, I got you. That's vintage Rori today. The only turnover she has is the one I made her stand there and eat to end the game. She don't really have a turnover today. 5 assists, no turnovers. But that to me is vintage Rori. She embraces the defensive challenge. She loves it. She eats it for breakfast. She was accountable today in huddles. We had a couple of empty possessions where I thought we might have been able to do something different. And she's like, Coach, it's me. I got it. I couldn't wait to get in the locker room because I was disappointed in how we let the half end. And it was all fundamentals to me. It was all our fundamental defense that we shouldn't be making those mistakes. We helped off the shooter twice in the first half on ball side. Like, help off ball side penetration. The goal was make them make a tough shot, make them make the spectacular. And so I was disappointed in the half on a 7-0 run after we'd worked hard to get up. But as we were standing there talking and my staff was coming at me about all these things, I'm like, guys, really, defense ain't our problem. We missed a bunch of shots first half. I thought were good looks. We just missed those shots. And, the offensive boards bugged the crap out of me. 21 had 6 at halftime. They had 8 total, and she had 6 of them. She was just physically whipping us. And so I had to get in there and kind of have a little come to Jesus on that. I didn't think we were denying a certain player on the floor that their offense ran through that we had talked about for 2 days. If you cut that piece off, the rest of it dies. And I had a guard on her that should have been able to do it, and we weren't doing it. So that had me a little bit upset as well. But we had forced 11 turnovers at half, so it wasn't like we weren't just doing a lot of things. But I just thought, again, we didn't have much of an inside game effort. Our effort to rebound offensively was poor. We only had 3 offensive. And so I just, there were some things I needed to talk to them about and let them know, hey, we got to fix this, y'all. It's not that hard and difficult, but we can't have the lapse of giving up a 7-0 run to close the quarter. So that was kind of the conversation at halftime.
Right, Al?
Kirk Bowles from the Houston Chronicle. The last game you had Brianna and Jordan really come through for you.
Yep.
Today, how impactful did you think Kyla and Jacques were in the moments they had in the second half?
Yeah, no question. I thought, Jacques, when I went in there and immediately went to 21 getting a rebound, I said, who in the heck in this room can keep 21 off the glass. She stands up, raises her hand, and goes, "Coach, I can do it." And, it kind of juiced up my team a little bit. And so, for her to do that is what you want. And then Kyla, there's no question the impact she had on the game. And she's 4 out of 7. She had 5 rebounds. She had 2 steals, had a block shot. I mean, she really, neutralized Sedona to an extent. And, Sedona has, 4 points and had a couple turnovers. So, I thought her and Taylor both were really good down there. But Kyla, Kyla wants to please. She wants to do well. She wants to impact the game. She wants to impact her team. And, sometimes you want it so bad, it becomes an Achilles for you. And so it was good to see her. I know she had a little sit down and visit last night, and and I thought she came out of that meeting really, really good. And I'm happy for her because I know how bad she wants to impact our team. And she certainly did that today. I mean, she's up there in the press denying, because they were trying to get the ball in through their 5-player. And she's up there denying like crazy and helping us get those 5 counts that we got. So special effort. The kid playing her heart out.
To the left.
Anna Ambrose with the Daily Texan.
Anna.
Coach, you fell to your knees as the clock was running out. What were you feeling in that moment?
Yeah, I've been there before. Like I said, I mean, you can want something so bad for somebody, and for some, for this team, I wanted it really bad for them. And, I'm emotionally invested in what I do. It's not a check for me. Like, I'm in this game and I see, and it's fine. It's okay if that's what it is, but it ain't for me. This is not a check. This is who I am. Unfortunately, a lot of people say it's not who you are, it's what you do. But for me, it's who I am. I can't sugarcoat that. There's no denying it. My family has suffered throughout the course of time with time away from them. My kids suffered when they were young because I was so invested with who I was and what I was doing for Coach Blair. And but this is the life I've chosen to live. And so when you're sitting there and the minutes are ticking off, the seconds are ticking off, and I have so much pride for my kids. Like, I'm so proud of them, how hard they played today. Like, anybody that watched that game today, when they turned the TV off, they had to go, wow, that freaking team plays their ass off. Excuse me. But you just have to admire them. And for me, I was just giving thanks to the good Lord for blessing me with them and for that moment, because I take it as a real blessing. These times are fleeting, y'all. People want to talk about, well, you've been here 7 out of the last 8 years, and, you didn't make it 5 of the years. But we did make it 2 of them, and they were pretty good teams. And, but that's the media, right? I mean, everybody's got their own opinion about things. When we walked out of the championship game at the SEC tournament, you got people wanting to complain about my offense, and we can't make it to the Final Four because of our offense. Well, I've watched other teams play, and they're scoring 50 points, 54 points, and ain't nobody complaining about their offense. But that's just the scrutiny that I guess I get, my team gets. I don't know. It's not very fair, but that's the world, right? That's life. So you just put your head down and you go to work. You do what's got you where you've gone. And you know what? In my mind, it's what's helped us win. My kids embrace it and they love it. And so, we can be better. Certainly, we can be better offensively. We can be better in a lot of things. We can be better going to offensive board. We used to be really good going to the offensive boards. 2 months ago, we were one of the best teams in the country. We got 40-something% of our offensive misses. We've kind of lost that edge a little bit. I got to help them get it back in about a 3-day time. So, but, I was just grateful and thankful. I felt blessed by the Lord, and I felt like I needed to thank him and honor him.
Far right, final question in here.
We're here, Ben Pickman with The Athletic. 8 years ago today, Mississippi State beat UConn to pick up that program's and your program's first ever Final Four victory. 8 years later, obviously, you get Texas back to a Final Four. Just how do you kind of reflect on your own life journey from that point with Mississippi State to this night tonight?
Yeah, that was a pretty special moment. I think of Morgan Williams all the time, not for that shot, but for who she was and what she brought to that team. And, I've had some really great point guards over the course of my career. And certainly to be in American Airlines Arena and for her to make that shot and hear the roof pop off that place was pretty special. Anybody that was in that building that day, they'll know what I'm talking about. But, it's not just an 8-year journey for me. It's really, in 2012 when I went to Mississippi State, I had so many of my colleagues think I committed career suicide. I'd never even been in the state except for one recruiting trip to recruit the #1 player in the country. That's the only time I'd ever been there. I didn't know a soul. You want to get uncomfortable? Go take a job for the last place team in the SEC. They just lost 6 seniors, which was probably a blessing because it was a 14 and 16 team. You got no staff hired, and you really don't have much returning on your team. Great kids, but obviously there's a reason why things happen the way they did. But you want to get uncomfortable, take that job. Drive down Highway 12 every morning, go into the office with no staff and no team. And this is your first opportunity to be a head coach in the Southeastern Conference. As I tell my players all the time, you're only going to reach your full potential if you get uncomfortable. It is the worst. I told them this last night. Being comfortable is the worst addiction in life. And I told them this last night. Being comfortable is the worst addiction in life. And it's so hard, especially with young people, because they just don't want to be uncomfortable. For me, I had to get uncomfortable to, again, I'm not sure I've reached my full potential. I hope I haven't. I try to learn something every day. But to be able to get to where I am now in 2012, 13 years ago, and now to be at Texas, and, as I told y'all yesterday, I see that banner every day in the practice facility, 2003, 34-0 national champions. Or not 2003, 1986, but there's a 2003 for the last time they were in the Final Four. I see it every day. And when I took the job 5 years ago, that was something obviously was on their mind, and it's something that's been on my mind. It obsesses you. You're obsessed with it. It's the only way you're ever going to do it. Like if you just think about it 5 months out of the year, you're never going to get there. It has to be something you live, eat, breathe, sleep every day, 365. And when you do that, it is a miserable way to live. Because people suffer because of your passion, And so, but these kids, it's why I do it. And for them to, they've seen, they know I'm up at the office. They know I sleep there at times. They know when I hadn't changed clothes the next day and I'm in the same thing to practice in I was in the day before. It is what it is, y'all. But as long as I'm doing it, you can rest assured they're going to get my best shot because it ain't never going to be a check for me. And so this is my passion. This is why I do what I do. And, like I said, I've been really blessed. I mean, when I went to Mississippi State, I had no idea how great those 8 years were going to be. They were phenomenal, incredible. And now at Texas, we've been able to get this thing right. And, I'm proud of that. But last thing I'll say is my staff, I said this out there, you can't have chemistry on your team unless you got chemistry on your staff. My team sees our chemistry every day. The preparation, the focus, the commitment that my staff has to help get these kids ready night in and night out, it's unprecedented. I've had some great staffs, and it's not a knock on the others, but this staff, they're second to none. They absolutely leave no stone unturned. They know I'm not going to leave a stone unturned, and them I'm smart enough to know I can't do it by myself, and I've hired great people. And these kids are the benefit of that.
Our final question comes from Zoom, from Corey.
Come on, Corey.
Okay, Coach, we're going to give up on Zoom tonight. So congratulations.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for your coverage. Thank you for being here. And we'll see you in Tampa. Praise the Lord and hook 'em horns.